the end of the June.
Yeah, so my work always shuts down for the first week of July for whenever Canada Day falls. So I went back to Playa del Carmen again. I rented a condo for a week where we stayed. Were you Cruz Comar?
Yeah, what?
Were you still working?
At that time, I think I was studying. I was in university.
Still?
Yeah. And I think I wasn't working. No. So I was a student and then I quit my job because my boss was.
No, but that week I don't remember you leaving for. You didn't go to school or anything that week when I was there. Maybe you had that week off. I don't know. So anyway, this is now what, July?
No, I remember. Yes, I went because we have a picture that when you took me when I was on the computer.
But I think you had the week off. You only had to go in for like a couple days.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't working because I quit my job at that time.
Yeah.
So, because you want me to come with you to Canada.
Yeah, so I went there the first week of July, and then I only came back here for a couple weeks, and he
actually it was just 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week, and then he came to Canada for 2 weeks.
2 weeks was the first time I took a plane. I was like so nervous. I was like, my mom was like, take care. Just like I had to call her like every day.
You know, to make sure that I wasn't an axe murderer and I wasn't, holding him against his will and killing him. And
yeah, so I just spent 2 weeks here. That I think was like marvelous.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll fall in love with Canada. It's so different to Mexico. And then I had to go back to Mexico again.
Yeah. So then the next trip that I took
was on October.
So January.
Yeah, because usually we see each
August,
other like
September.
every 2, 3.
Before COVID-19, I would go down there every
2 months, 3 months and a half, something like that.
2-3 months. Yeah.
So it was like
October 2019.
Yeah.
I go back for a week.
1 week.
And then
at that time I was doing my internship, like almost finished my career, and I decided to do it at the Princess Hotel that we stay. So like some people recognize me, like, oh, I saw you with some guy older than you. I say like, yes. I say yes. He's my boyfriend. I didn't care really. So I wasn't working, just was doing that because it was like taking me like the whole day. But the good thing that I get tips, and was really good tips.
Should have been better, but I tip really well while I'm in Mexico. Most people, especially Europeans, don't tip. They're not that in Europe. They're not a tipping society. So.
Yeah, but mostly the people that was in the hotel at that time was mostly Canadians. And people from say like, so there I met like 3 or 4 couples. Now my friend from Hamilton and Joanne. So I met them. So I think I was doing my internship at that time when you came in October. And I think I asked for like 2 or 3 days off when you was here, so they give me those days and we spent that week.
Yeah, so we only stay at the resort the 2 times. No, the once. The rest of the time I just rent condos in Playa del Carmen. I enjoy it more than the resorts.
Yes, it's cheaper, really.
Yeah, and you do what you want on your own time schedule. You don't have to worry about what time the buffet is going to open and blah. You can just go for dinner whenever you want, or lunch, or...
Yeah, so the next time I saw him was like the second time I came to Canada. Was in December, I think it was December 2nd. Because I spent 2 weeks.
The date's not important, but December 2019.
yeah, 2019, I came here to Canada again. Was like for 2 weeks, and then he go back with me.
We fly back together to.
Was like the first time we fly together. And we stayed just one night in Playa, and he rented a car, and we went to visit my grandma. So, well, like the first time he was.
Your grandma, your grandpa,
And
your
my-
mother, your father.
And my family, Mexican people, we have a big family.
I don't think your family is as big as mine. I have a pretty big family. But anyway.
Excuse me, you wanna? I have a big family.
Okay.
So he drive to the first time in Mexico because you never drive Mexico before, right?
Nope.
So he rented a car and we drive from Cancun to El Mamey, that is a town that my mom used to live. That was, how long was? Like 8 hours?
That's where you grew up with your mom and dad. Or no?
No.
That's where your mom lived. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because it's another story.
Okay.
So we visit my mom, my grandpa's. I mean, like my mom, she doesn't speak any English. He doesn't speak any Spanish, but like was like the translator. So that's like, and I think like my mom really love him. I mean, like even if they don't speak, but I mean, you don't have to speak like to communicate. Like your body, your look, your smile, the way you talk. So like my mom was like, was okay, look like it's really good man for you, and if you're happy, it's the only thing I need and I want it for you. I think I have some videos and pictures that he took.
Yep.
What do you think that like when you see like that? I mean, like was really far from Playa del Carmen. But Playa del Carmen is so different than the rest of the country, because it's just touristic area.
Playa del Carmen's very Americanized with Sam's Club and Costco and McDonald's, and where he grew up is
no McDonald's, no Costco, no Walmart,
no cell signal.
No.
So we stayed in Candelaria, which was
It's like the municipality from
15-20 minutes from where your mom lived.
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed in a hotel there. And yeah, so I met his mom lived with
the next day you drive to my father.
Yeah. So we picked up his mom because the town where his father lives, he has his other grandma and grandpa and half brother, nieces, nephew, shala.
But I think my mom met you before. Was in July.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, we forgot something. So my mom was coming on July, right?
Then when I was in Mexico in July, his mom came to visit.
So it was like the first time I talked to her about that I was gay. So one day I called her and I told her because like it was like the same days that he was coming, my mom was coming too. So I told her like, that I'm your son and I really love you, but I met some guy here and he's coming and I hope like you can meet him and so like I was dating with him and I mean like I don't know how you were gonna take it. So like he said like, if you are happy, I'm happy, and I don't care how you are, what is your sexual preference. I mean like you are my son and it doesn't matter. So I remember that we booked a restaurant for dinner. It was my mom, my sister, and my brother-in-law. So you was nervous to meet my mom?
No, not really. I mean, besides, I can't really communicate with her, besides him translating back and forth. And
yeah.
So that makes it a little difficult, but you can tell that how somebody feels about you with the body language.
Yeah, so the good thing that my brother-in-law, he speak English.
Yeah.
My sister, she can understand, but she don't speak too much. I don't know why. So we spent that day with mom, I think.
Just for dinner. That was it.
So when we went to Campeche, it was like the second time. He met my mom, my grandma. I think we have videos. We are gonna show you. And then we just spent just two days there. And then we drive back to Playa, but we went to Bacalar,
Mm-hmm.
and he met some friend of me, and then we stayed just there two or 3 nights,
2 nights, I think.
2 nights, and then we drive again back to Playa, and then we stay like 1 week more.
So that takes us to December 2019. So then, next time I go back to Mexico is February 2020.
Yeah,
So this was just when
the COVID.
was just starting to. We were just starting to hear.
I think you share like meme like something like Corona beer. Yes, I remember that we was really laughing, like we didn't know that this going to happen.
Yeah. So I spent another week there in February, and then just when I got back was right before the quarantine.
Yeah, the quarantine here in Canada.
So I just got back in time before I didn't have to quarantine when I got back. But just after I got back, after that trip is when shit hit the fan everywhere. Ontario here in Canada pretty much shut down. Schools were closed. My employer shut down for 7 weeks.
Yeah, you didn't go like for 2 months.
Yeah. Ontario pretty much shut down. So then that's when it was the longest period that we didn't see each other.
I think for me it was really hard, even when we talked every day on the phone, and then we started to call every two times per week, because usually we just do on weekends, like face call.
One time a week we would video call for an hour or whatever. It was usually on Saturday.
Yeah, but now we started
because we weren't seeing each other, so we did like Wednesday and Saturday. Yeah. So we didn't see each other for
February, March, April,
May. It was
June,
July.
June was July, but was like 5 months. I didn't see him. So
my condo was supposed to close late July, early August. I was told that the condo would be ready and we could sign and blah blah blah. So I make the trip down in July, because at this time when I came back to Canada, I had to quarantine for 14 days.
yeah, so you decide, because we thought like you can sign and you can have your condo.
So long story short, I go back to Mexico in July, and the whole week I was there, nothing happened with the condo. It wasn't ready. It was getting there, but none of the paperwork was done like I told. Anybody that buys real estate in Mexico, when they say things are going to be done, they're not.
Mexican time.
They're not going to be done.
So
it wasn't a wasted trip. I still went to see him, but it would have been nice to get that done when I was there, but no.
So at that time, I lost my job on April. It was like really hard. Like they say, okay, after COVID, I was working in a cafeteria.
Coffee shop.
Yeah, so like I was really new, like 1 month there, and then no more.
Yeah, coffee shop on Fifth Avenue. So Playa del Carmen completely shut down for a couple months.
Yeah, like the beach was closed.
No tourists, no nothing. So
I have a TikTok video that from the fire, and it was like 7 p.m. like nobody, nothing.
Yeah, there was almost like a curfew where you weren't supposed to be out, and so that brought us to July 2020.
Yeah, so you came back to Canada and you couldn't have your apartment at that time. The construction wasn't over. They say COVID just was like one excuse to say because they didn't finish.
Yeah. So Canada introduced a program where you could bring your family member to Canada because the border was basically closed. Nobody could come in unless you were Canadian. But Canada introduced the program where you could bring in your husband, your wife, your mother, father, immediate family, someone that you dated for at least 1 year.
1 year, yeah, that was the condition.
And that you have met in person at least once. So we,
of course, like too many times.
we met those conditions, so we applied.
That was on October 8th. That was the day that the program showed up.
So we went from July, August, September. So we're 4 more months where we didn't see each other.
Yeah.
So we applied on October
8th was the first day that the program showed up.
8th. So and we got approved about a week and a half.
Was on October 21st that I get that email that I say like the confirmation number, and then I say like I'm allowed to travel, but you know the restriction was that I have to do like the quarantine, 14 days at home. So when I came was in October, November.
November, yeah. He wanted to see the fall colors here in Ontario, but no, he got the tail end. You got to see like around my house.
Yeah, but I couldn't go out. So when I was allowed to go out, all the color wasn't gone. Yeah, it was like the winter. Yeah. Was like the first time I was on winter. Was the second time?
No, you were here in December.
So it was like the second time I was on, and I stay here how long? Just one month. I mean, like the half
for 4 weeks. Originally, it was going to be 3 weeks, and then we made it 4 weeks.
So, like the half of the trip, I was in quarantine, and the other half of the trip, I was out. But that first time was, for me, for 14 days, was so long. Like, oh my god. I know I can, like, 1 day, 2 days late, 3 days
later. So we fly back to Mexico together.
I get another flight.
And I was spending 4 weeks there.
Yeah, that was the first time that you are spending 4 weeks, because usually you spend just 1 week there.
Because I was told that the paperwork and everything was going to be ready at like the first week of December, so I just booked 4 weeks because nothing happens on time in Mexico, so I booked as long as I could possibly book before I had to come back. So, long story short, the condo was ready 1 day before I came back to Canada, so we had to race to get everything ready because it was booked to be rented out on Airbnb.
Yeah, we went to any places, Walmart,
Sam's Club,
to get ready, just sheet, plate, everything that the condo needed.
So anyway, that's all done. I come back to Canada, and so I had to quarantine again.
Summer.
Over Christmas. I couldn't go see any of my family or anything for Christmas. New Year's. Went back to work beginning of January.
No, so we hear like the COVID cases here in Canada was increasing really bad. The government said like they was going to close the border with Mexico.
They started to threaten that they were going to start doing the hotel quarantine and everything when people came into Canada. So we originally had you booked for February 20th.
Yeah.
But then I started hearing that, we're going to do the hotel quarantine, and
so
it's going to cost you $2,000. And
so we changed the flight 1 week after that. No, before that.
We thought if we don't get him to Canada now, he's not going to get in.
So I had to get like the COVID test.
So wait, we missed that. We got engaged during this whole...
So when I came in, when I was here in November.
In November.
So you was working, and I think it was one weekend that we used to go for a trails, that we like to spend days on trails.
Algonquin Park.
Yeah, usually there. I don't know. About the green.
I don't know. So we went to all... The weather was warmer than usual for November. Like, it was almost like summertime temperatures. We didn't have to wear a jacket or anything while we were hiking the trails in Algonquin Park.
Yes.
And I had it planned. I had the ring bout already, probably in October sometime. that I decided that I was going to propose, and so we went to Algonquin Park. He likes it there, and we went on the trail. And when we got to the lookout over the all the trees and the lake and anything, we'll link to that video somewhere up here.
So how we get engaged?
So I proposed to him in November of 2020. Yeah, so we missed that part. That was an important kind of part that we missed. So anyway, now we're back to when you came back here. So now, yeah, he's been back here
since January 30th.
Yeah, he had to get a COVID test coming into Canada.
Like 62 hours before
72
hours before I took my plane. I had to pay like 2,500 pesos to get a COVID test. So when I was on the plane, it was like really a big line because all the Canadians was freaking out that I say that the port was going
everybody was trying to get back to Canada before the hotel quarantine and everything, and the Canadian government basically said you need to, if you're not in Canada, you need to get back home. And so we had him booked on Air Transat, and that ended up, they canceled it.
2 days before they changed my flight with Air Canada.
So Air Transat shut down a couple days before, and I'm like, oh shit, he's not going to get here. But they rebooked them on Air Canada.
No, Air Canada.
Yes.
Sorry.
And so he's been here. It's now, what is the date now?
It's April 1st.
It is April 1st today. Happy April Fool's Day. So he's been here since February 1st, basically. February, March. So he's been here for 2 months.
Yeah, I had to do the quarantine again.
And so, yeah, that's it. He's been here for 2 months now. Not sure when he's going to go back to Mexico. I can't
Supposedly they are going to reopen the flights on April 30 to the Caribbean and Mexico.
Today, Ontario just got locked down again for 4 weeks. So everything is... We have to get him back to Mexico eventually.
Yeah, I have to.
But for now, we're not sure when. We're thinking probably...
May.
There's flights in May right now, but whether those flights actually go or not,
we will see.
We will have to see. So anyway, that is the very long story of how we met and what has happened since. So
for the wedding, we don't know yet.
Yeah, COVID kind of has that up in the air. So
yeah, had to be Mexico because mostly my family are there.
But anyway, we'll figure that stuff out later. There's the video that everybody wanted to,
want to know how we met. Yeah.
So there you go.
They're like, thank you for watching this video, and if you like this video, thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to your channel because we have a lot of adventures. And that's it, how I met him.
I think so.
Bye. Say bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios, amigos and amigas.